Those who are able, please rise for the procession of graduates. Those who are able, you're already standing. Please remain standing as we join in our nation's anthem. You may be seated. Friends and family, you may be seated as well. Welcome to this celebration of the class of 2022. As we begin this graduation ceremony of Warren Woods Adult Education and Enterprise High School, I would like to introduce individuals within the district who play a vital role in the success and achievement of our students. Board of Education Secretary Kay Walsh, Board of Education Treasurer Paul Zanetti, Board of Education Trustee Mike Fitzpatrick, Superintendent Stacy Denowith-Feachy, Deputy Superintendent Neil Cassabon, Special Services Director Stacy Sward, Curriculum Director, Kara Beal. Facilities and Transportation Director, Matthew Dishman. I believe Ian Friendland is around. He is the Assistant Principal at Warren Woods Tower High School. Technology Supervisor, Kevin Hustek. And our District Police Liaison Officer, Officer Frank Merrick. The principal of Enterprise High School is Tim Baldwin. Mr. Baldwin and his wife welcomed a baby girl not many hours ago. The baby's name is Miriam Muse. Mom and baby are healthy and doing well. Mr. Baldwin would like to express his gratitude for everyone's support. Filling in for Mr. Baldwin at tonight's ceremony is George Hamlin. Mr. Hamlin was the principal of Enterprise High School until just last year. We appreciate his willingness to stand in at the last moment for this ceremony. My name is Kristen Allen, and I am the Adult Education Coordinator. Some of the most important people in the life of any student are their teachers. Every day they provide instruction, support, guidance, and encouragement. With the staff of Enterprise High School and Warren Woods Adult Education, please stand to be recognized at this time. I have to admit, it feels a little strange to be standing up here again after the last couple of years. We haven't had much of anything resembling normal in 2.5 years, but this is pretty close. I'm so grateful that we can once again recognize and honor our graduates in the way that they deserve, especially after the unique challenges they faced to be here today. Each year I think on what I would like to say as a parting word to the graduating class. Typically, I write a different speech each year. I scout around on Google and Instagram and Pinterest to find maybe a different quote or something from somebody famous, something that offers a unique message to that particular graduating class, or a unique insight into what that year has been like for the graduates on this stage. You see, I prefer to honor each class with something unique because each graduating class is unique. This is something that those of us in education know. We may collectively refer to them as our students or even our kids, but they are a group of individuals with skills, talents, personalities, quirks, and struggles unique to them. Every grade is different, every classroom is different, and every graduating class is different. But when I started thinking about what I wanted to say to this year's graduating class, I couldn't help but think of what I said to the graduating class of 2019, the last time I was on the stage giving this speech. That was, this class is so unlike that group of students in so many ways, I just can't compare the two. Not even gonna try. But when I was preparing for tonight, it struck me that my remarks and the quote I used are even more fitting today than they were 3 years ago, when none of us had a clue what was ahead for our schools and our communities and our world. So, graduates, I hope you don't mind that I'm going to share some recycled thoughts. Hopefully I'm upcycling. I know that that's the trend to upcycle things, with just a few updates just for you. Students who complete their diplomas through adult education programs and alternative high schools tend to be students that have faced some battles in their lives. I can't speak for all of the Enterprise students because I know only a handful of you through summer school and credit recovery. My guess, though, is that you're much like the students who grace our classrooms in adult education. Life for you may not have followed a typical script or playbook. Your trajectory was different from others who continued in a traditional high school. The challenges you faced may not have even remotely resembled those of your peers. You have battled to be here today. Now, I don't mean a physical battle like those associated with war or other violence. Most of the battles that you have fought have been unseen, misunderstood, or unappreciated for what they are. Some of you battled the grief of leaving your traditional high school, knowing that you may sacrifice relationships, or homecomings, or proms, or extracurricular activities to go to a new school where you could find success, support, and acceptance. Some of you struggled with your own worst tendencies, desire to sleep in late and miss school, to play way too many video games instead of studying, to stay out late with friends when you knew that you had a big test in the morning. We all struggle with what we want to do when left to our own devices versus what we know we need to do to have the lives that we want. For some of you, challenges were bigger or more serious. Some of you fought to learn the required curriculum despite things that made learning more challenging for you. Things like ADHD or dyslexia. Some of you fought against chronic illness or anxiety or depression, just so you can make it to school on a regular basis and then make it through your classes. Some of you watched loved ones become ill from COVID, or perhaps became sick yourselves. Perhaps some of you felt the grief of losing someone close to you, and only a month ago. You know, I haven't cried at graduation in a long time, so give me a second. Only a month ago, those of you from Enterprise High School faced the unexpected passing of your beloved science teacher, Sue Adams. Her colleagues at both Enterprise High School and Adult Education, because she worked for us too, has shared with you in your mourning for her and understand the absence she leaves in the lives of those who loved her. Some of you have struggled with technology. Right, Kevin? Perhaps Zoom or Microsoft Teams or Admentum or Schoology or E2020 were not your friends from the last couple of years. They weren't always the friends of your teachers either, so you're in good company there. Some of you shared electronic devices with parents and siblings who also had to finish assignments and meet deadlines. Some of you dealt with the pain of isolation and the struggle to stay motivated when you didn't see much point in this whole school thing. Perhaps the world of work was looking pretty tempting. With so many jobs available and wages increasing, employment is a beneficial and sometimes necessary endeavor, but perhaps it was hard to focus on the future benefits to staying in school and graduating when other opportunities were right there in front of you. Some of you may have fought to keep a healthy balance, fought to keep yourself from being pulled in a million directions. The things pulling you away from school may even have been worthwhile, necessary, and vital things. Things like jobs and relationships and child rearing. But you fought to accomplish the school of graduation because you know that your diploma will make the difference to your career, your future, your family, and your family's future. Unfortunately, I think students who take a non-traditional path to graduation get a bad rep, one that is greatly misinformed as it is based on biases, half-truths, and assumptions about our fellow humans and what they face every single day. People can be pretty critical when they don't know what a person has been through. I hope, and this is one of the lessons I want you to take, I hope that one of the lessons you take away from school is to treat people with grace, because you can't always see the invisible battles others are fighting every day. The world is full of critics on how we go about our lives and make our choices, but you know the truth about the battles you faced. You know what it took to get here today. To this stage, to this cap and gown, about to receive your diploma. So now let me share this quote, which comes from a speech given by President Theodore Roosevelt over a century ago. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself on a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with the cold, timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Tonight is a celebration of your victory. A few of you may have felt battered and bloodied by circumstances in your life. All of you probably sweated over some classes and assessments. Some of you had responsibilities before the school day even started, or went to work after the last bell rang, knowing you were in for a long day. Some of you just got up every day, signed online, and just did the thing. That too may have been a struggle, even if you got to do it in your comfiest sweatshirt and pajama pants. But you still did the thing. You're here tonight as a victor in the battle. You got in that arena, one filled with books and tests, lots of tests, and grades and internet glitches and masks. It wasn't always easy. Some days you were probably ready to throw in the towel and be done with it all. You may have fallen a few times and had to get back up, but you pulled yourself up and got to your feet over and over again in some of the toughest circumstances, and you finished the thing. You did it. Today you are a graduate, and no one can take this victory away from you. You battled to be here through whatever circumstances life threw at you. The applause and cheers you will hear tonight are well-deserved. Before I finish, one quick reminder. You are here today in part because of those who have loved, encouraged, and supported you through your years of education. Each of you made it to be here today with the help of family, caregivers, friends, teachers, coaches, and many others. Please don't forget to thank your greatest fans and cheering section for all of their support that encouraged you along this road to victory. Your shining success can be shared with them without losing any of its luster. As we move forward with the rest of this ceremony and the celebration in your honor, class of 2022, allow me to be the first to offer my congratulations on this significant accomplishment and my best wishes for your bright, strong, victorious future. Thank you. Our mistress of ceremonies this evening will be Enterprise High School graduate Jasmine Rogers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the graduating class of 2022, I extend a warm welcome to our families, our friends, staff members, administrators, and guests at this year's commencement ceremony for Warren Woods Enterprise High School in Adult Education. All of the graduates on this stage this evening started our education at many different schools and school districts, but eventually left those programs. We all came to Warren Woods schools and succeeded. Why have we succeeded at Warren Woods? Because Warren Woods schools are dedicated to caring about students and holding high expectations for student achievement. We have learned firsthand at Enterprise High School and Adult Education that achievement is the natural outcome of a caring educational environment. On behalf of my fellow graduates of Warren Woods Enterprise High School and Adult Education, I would like to express my appreciation to the Board of Education, the administration, and the staff at our schools for all you have done. The road that has brought us to our destination today has been pretty rough at times for all of us. We would not be here today without the support of the entire Warren Woods community. Each graduate here tonight has a special story. I think we all have faced difficulties and disappointments at times in our lives. Regardless of how tough it was and how many obstacles stood in our way, we all managed to achieve our goal of earning a high school diploma. I would like to introduce some of my fellow graduates who have some thoughts to share with you this evening. They will reflect on their experiences and share their feelings. Please welcome our first speaker, Enterprise graduate, True Christopher.
Fellow classmates, staff, and families, we are here today to celebrate our graduation. I want to say how proud I am of all of us for making it here today and pushing through. At times, we all thought we would would not make it, but here we are. Some days, we did not feel like getting out of bed or just sitting in a classroom all day. But we knew someday it would pay off. It took a lot for me to get here, and it's taken the support and patience of Warren Woods teachers to make it possible. You all know what I'm talking about. We have all made mistakes, but we have learned from them, and we are moving forward. Now is time to plan for life after high school, wondering what we want to do and planning for our future. Here are some words of advice from me personally. This is the time to explore and find out what you want out of life. Don't be afraid to try new things and see the world for its beauty. If you are not ready to plan, remember it's okay not to rush into something. Figure yourself out first. I have faith in every single person here will excel in life. Just remember to take the time to enjoy the journey. At this time, I would like to thank everyone who has supported me over the years. You were there when I needed it the most. I told myself I wasn't going to cry. Okay. Ms. Wrinkle, you never gave up on me, and you pushed me to work harder. I know at times I was definitely a pain. Miss Adams was one of the few people that never gave up on me over the years. Even when I was irritated about school or wanting to go home, she would always brighten my day with her smile and her huge collection of minions that filled her room. She'll be greatly missed by all. Another person who helped me a lot during my time in school was Miss Cooper. Even though times could be difficult, she would never judge and always be there to talk to. And lastly, my graduating class, we have made it, and I am so glad to know all of you. One day, I expect to see you all thriving in life. You are all such unique and strong-souled people. I know you will go far. Congratulations, class of 2022.
Enterprise graduate Martin Ishak.
Welcome to this afternoon that has been anticipated by, I imagine, everyone here with us. Here today, our class makes the transition from students to graduates, a process that's had its setbacks these past few years, but fortunately, on this stage is the class that adapts to the circumstances we are faced with. We had support in traversing those obstacles with the help of our teachers and staff, who provided us laptops when school was made virtual so that we would still be able to do our work. Not only that, but our teachers also went out of their way to check in on us. One who really helped me was Mrs. Adams. Although she may not physically be here today, she is here in spirit, so I'd like to thank her and all of my teachers for their care in helping us get to this point. I would also like to thank our brand new principal. We really appreciate that since you've been here, you've done everything you could to support and accommodate us. So truly, thank you, Mr. Baldwin. 2021 was a year that was very hard on me. And at that point, I wasn't really doing any of the things I ought to have been doing. I was stagnant and sulking over problems that I couldn't do anything about. As time went on, it became apparent to me that I was in this phase for quite a while, and I wanted something to change. With encouragement from my parents and staff at Enterprise, I realized that even if you can't get the answers you want from life, you can still move forward and allow yourself to focus on other more important aspects of life instead of fixating on the troubles. And along the way, the answers you were seeking for may become apparent to you. The encouragement from school helped me realize I can focus on what really matters and what I want to do in life. I learned not to focus on the little things that were bringing me down, but to focus on the bigger picture. I want you all to take what we have learned from Enterprise into your future. Don't give up and expect things to come to you. We must strive for what we want out of life. I'm so happy and proud to know all of you. Congratulations, class of 2022.
I would also like to add to the many thoughts and feelings expressed this evening. Good evening. I want to thank everyone who helped me get here. I came to Enterprise from another school because I was struggling academically. When I first got to Enterprise, I was nervous, especially since I didn't know anyone. Soon I realized this is where I belong. The staff and students all welcomed me with open arms and made my senior year special. The staff at Enterprise pushed me to work harder and to reach my goals. I want to thank my teachers for always helping me when I needed it and being there for additional support. I want to thank my family for constantly being a positive voice in my corner and helping me through difficult times. I want to thank my mom for getting me up every morning, even when I wanted to stay home and sleep in. Also, a special shout out to my family that traveled a long way to be here. It really means a lot that you are here to celebrate my special day. Lastly, I want to congratulate my fellow graduates. We all have worked extremely hard to be where we are today. We all wanted to give up at certain times in our high school career, but we pushed through. We all should be extremely proud of what we have accomplished today. I wish you all the best of luck and know that you will all go far in life. I would like to welcome back to the podium our Adult and Community Education Coordinator, Kristen Allen, who will begin the scholarship and award portion of the program.
I want to start by thanking all the students and staff that bought pop, juice, water, or snacks from our vending machines. This may seem like a strange way of starting scholarship presentations, but 100% of our scholarship monies come from our vending machine purchases in our student lounge. I believe my caffeine addiction alone has contributed a significant amount to these scholarships, and I won't point fingers at any staff members, but some of them contribute a significant amount as well. This scholarship is not told to anybody in advance. So let me explain what the scholarship is for. This award through the Adult Education Program is a scholarship given to a student or students chosen for academic achievement, character, and dedication to continuing education. The $500 scholarship may be used for the college or post-secondary training of the recipient's choice. The staff from Warren Woods Adult Education is proud to present the first scholarship, or the scholarship, to Courtney O'Neill.
Good evening. My name is Stacy Stasinski, and I am the only elective teacher at Enterprise High School. I teach art. I've been teaching art now for 23 years for Warren Woods. It's my 9th year at Enterprise, and I'm just so happy to be back in person. You really can't do art virtually. And I think the students were really grateful to be back in person as well. Art is that one thing where it's kind of a break in your day where you can do things hands-on and be creative. It's not like there's one single answer. I would like to recognize a student that really is incredibly creative. I mean, it was very difficult coming up with who would receive this award because we have so many talented students at our small school. But I really wanted to focus on somebody who had been there all year and just has an incredible wealth of creativity and imagination and just can draw anything just off the top of his head and have it be really unique. And the student that I have selected for our art award is Mr. Jaden Grant.
It's great to see all your proud and smiling faces. For those of who don't know me, I'm Mr. Nostrand, the counselor at Enterprise. I have the honor of presenting the scholarship awards tonight. Although all of our students could be honored tonight, we have the opportunity to highlight a few. The first scholarship goes to a motivated and determined young lady who plans on attending Wayne State in the fall. This student came to us behind on credits from changing schools, but was determined to graduate on time. This student puts the extra effort to accomplish her goals, and I know she will continue to do so in the future. The first scholarship goes to Raja Salim. Our next scholarship goes to a student who is very creative and a unique individual. She was always willing to help out when needed, from showing the new students around to their classes, that was for me, and for organizing materials for teachers. She plans on starting a Veda Beauty School in the summer. The second scholarship goes to Rianne Fryer. Our third scholarship goes to a student who puts the extra effort in everything they do. This student is known to be a kind soul and looks out for her fellow classmates. She is going to a Veda Beauty School to follow her passion for cosmetology. The third scholarship goes to Jasmine Rogers. Our last scholarship goes to a student who plans on going into a medical-related field at Wayne State University. She is an ambitious and determined young lady who will excel at whatever she puts her mind to. Our last scholarship goes to Nura Kalam.
At this time, I am pleased to introduce a person who has the interests of every single Warren Woods student at heart, our superintendent, Ms. Stacy Denwood-Feachy.
Good evening. On behalf of the Board of Education and the entire administrative team in Warren Woods, I just want to congratulate the class of 2022. Each of you has worked very hard to overcome certain struggles and myriad other obstacles to get to this moment. The fact that you are sitting on this stage is a testament that you are a fighter. You set a goal for yourself and did what was necessary to achieve that goal. Does everyone know who Chadwick Boseman is? Okay, just making sure. He was an actor who played James Brown and Jackie Robinson, but most notably was the Black Panther. And he recently passed away in 2020, and he was fighting a struggle of his own. He was fighting colon cancer. But in 2018, he was invited back to his alma mater to give a speech. He attended Howard University. And I just want to leave you with a quick quote of what he said to the graduating class when he was there. Graduating class, hear me well on this day, when you have reached the hilltop and you are deciding on your next job, your next step, your career, or your further education. You would rather find purpose than a job or a career. Purpose crosses disciplines. Purpose is an essential element of you. It is the reason you are on this planet in particular and at this time in history. Your very existence is wrapped up in the things that you are here to fulfill. Whatever you choose for a career path, remember the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for this purpose. Congratulations, class of 2022. You've overcome your struggles so far. We wish you the very best as you go out and find your purpose.
Thank you, Ms. Dunn-Vici. Please welcome to the podium George Hamlin.
Dear Board of Education, the graduates seated before you have met the Michigan Merit Curriculum requirements to receive their diplomas from the Warrenwood Public Schools. At this time, we would like Superintendent Mrs. Stacy Denowith-Vici and Board Treasurer Mr. Paul Zanetti to please present the diplomas for our new high school graduates.
Stacy.
Graduates, will you please rise?
Courtney O'Neill.
Catherine Pelshaw. Carly Hall. Denija Cheney. Renaya Thomas. Amelia Bachang. Hannah Doan. Maddie Flowers. Rianne Fryer. Lalita Hooper. Paris Koo. Nura Kalam. Dreana Stewart. Jasmine Rogers. Kiara Cheyenne Skelton. Samantha Byrne. Michaela Nettleton. Casey Elena Donnelly. Morgan Maddie Brewer. Brooklyn Saul. Julia Violet Head. Angelina Grasso. Haley McKenna Lewandowski. Yasmin Brown. Marie Benson. True Grace Crisford. Nikel Taylor. Chris Bernard. Jamir Hunter. Christopher Parks. Ethan Redvansky. Dominic Perone. Brandon Griffin. Jaden Grant. Ashley Brunskill. Martin Ishak. Matthew Marshman. Zachary Scott Sagan. Zachary Walker. Sanu Smith. Jacob Wall. Adam Sulak. Christian Michael David Mead. Murray Benson. Antonio English. Edmund Keyshawn Jefferson. And Nathan Kaiser. Graduates, you may be seated. Good evening again. I'm George Hamlin. I spent 10 years as the principal at Warren Woods Enterprise High School. I'm pitch hitting today, as you know, for Mr. Baldwin. When Ms. Maljak and Mr. Nostrand and Mr. Baldwin called and said there's a possibility that Tim's wife may go in and have the child during commencements, they wanted to know if I would come in and pitch hit, and I gladly responded. I'm humbled and honored to have an opportunity. I planned on being here anyways. Thank you. I planned on being here anyways, but I planned on sitting in the back, the very back, and seeing from afar. But I'm grateful to have a front row seat today. And I appreciate your understanding and helping yesterday and again today. I also like to say this. As people talk about what you learn, I learned in 10 years at Warren Woods Enterprise High School, if I needed help, I could go anywhere, anytime, and ask for that help. It's the strongest message that I learned from working for this district. So when Mr. Baldwin reached out, I reached back. So he has a speech that he'd like me to read for him, and I'm going to do my very, very best to read his comments. Good evening, Enterprise families, administration, school board members, and community members. It is my great pleasure to speak to you this evening as principal of Warren Woods Enterprise High School. Right now, in honor of Mrs. Sue Adams, who dedicated her life and talents to this district and its students for 25 years and inspired so many of our graduates, I would like to ask for a moment of silence. Thank you. I want to thank all of you for welcoming me into your school, your community, and your families. I want to thank the entire staff for working so hard on behalf of our students this year. I especially want to thank my brother, Mr. Nostrand, and my work mom, Mrs. Maljak, for helping me make moves this year. We would not be here tonight without your dedication to the students. I was in my previous district for 11 years. Because I worked there for that long, I often wondered if I would ever be able to find a place that made me feel as comfortable as I was when I started there. I wondered if the district and families and students would make me feel at home. I'm happy to say that it's all love at Warren Woods Public Schools. I couldn't ask for a better place for me and my family. I would also like to give special thanks to all of our donors. This year, Mrs. Maljak, Mr. Nostrand, and I wanted to start a fund to help our students pay for graduation and build something sustainable. We sought out donors to pay graduation fees for every one of our seniors. With their help, we were able to do just that. Donors, on behalf of the students and staff at Enterprise High School, I want to say thank you, and we look forward to asking you for more money next year. To the class of 2022, what up, dog? I want all of you to take a deep breath and exhale. And he wants you to do this, it's for emphasis, so. The hard part of this portion of your journey is over. Richard Dietrich told me during our meeting last summer he was coming back to handle business. That became our senior theme for this year. This would not be your typical senior year of high school. This was a business trip. When business wasn't being handled, we spoke like adults, and you responded accordingly. The reward was Keepers, home of the steak, by the ounce. Students, you have all faced hardship, setback, loss, doubters, family strife on your way to tonight. Each one of you have taken on those challenges and made the moves necessary to call yourself graduates. Each one of you has a story to tell. Many of those stories you have shared with me. I wish I had time tonight to tell each and every one of them individually. While I can't do that, just know that your story is valuable, and it is up to you to continue to tell it. Remember that everything you have been through is a chapter in that story. Use what you have learned to overcome to help someone else. Let your life be someone else's inspiration. It probably already is. If I didn't learn to tell my story and use it to drive me, I wouldn't be here. You are survivors. You survived COVID when many people you know and love have not. You have survived failed classes, missed credits when some of your peers gave up. There will be new challenges, setbacks, and heartbreaks. Knowing that if you keep handling your business, the rewards will sustain you for life. While we bring this part of your life to a close, remember that this is not the end. It is a stepping off point for your next mission. Whatever you do, don't stop. It's okay to pause, but never stop. My favorite quote is by an author and motivational speaker named Earl Nightingale. Never give up on your dream because of the time it will take to accomplish it. That time is going to pass anyway. Whether you chase your dream for the next 5 years or sit on your couch for the next 5 years will pass. You may as well use this time to do something that will take care of you and yours for the rest of your lives. There are people who will tell you life is a grind and you have to grind for what you want and grind for what you need. Don't worry about the grind. All well-oiled machines, all of you are well-oiled machines, and well-oiled machines don't grind. I have told many of you that my mentor, Dr. Rogers, used to compare life to a fair, saying, if you want to ride the rides, you gotta have the tickets. This diploma is your first ticket. Welcome to the fair. One time for the class of 2022. Graduates, would you please rise? At this time, I would like to invite Nathan Kaiser from Enterprise High School for the traditional turning of the tassels presentation.
It is my privilege to lead this year's graduating class in the time-honored tradition of the turning of the tassels. Instituted centuries ago, it represents the culminating moment of one's educational achievement. Graduates, turn your tassels.
Thank you, Nathan. As we close this evening's ceremony, I would like to present and congratulate all the Warren Woods Enterprise High School and Adult Ed 2022 graduates.